I do fantasy football.
It's my quarterback. If you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
How's your fantasy team looking this year?
I won $1 million.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
How y'all doing? This is Seton Smith, and you're listening to My Fantasy Wife Podcast. Knuckle.
My Fantasy Wife Podcast.
Style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable.
Blair.
I watched 40 minutes of Space Jam this weekend. It's 40 minutes of my life. I'm not going to get back.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Gary.
They had already announced he was leaving.
Well,
he just didn't want to wait out the 30. You know how when you quit a job, you got to give them 30 days or whatever. He's
2 weeks. You've never had a real job, have you?
No.
He is the man in the fantasy world.
Drew.
You're not a Peyton Manning fan,
I'm not a Manning fan.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Lewis.
You love Burger King.
Yeah, I like Burger King.
Yeah.
Not the game. We're talking about practice, man.
You're listening to My Fantasy Wife Podcast. www.myfantasywife.com.
Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and wife discuss sports, fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I'm the wife, comedian Blair Postman. Yay! I'm joined by my husband and sports stat expert, Mr. Gary Haynes. Woo! We're also joined by Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian and pet nurse Drew Harrison.
Yay.
Yay! And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
All right.
Yeehaw! To never miss our weekly episodes and extras, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fant Wife, and support the podcast by liking and rating us on iTunes. Miss any of that? Then go to our website, myfantasywife.com, with links to everything. Gary,
Yeah.
tell us with enthusiasm about this week's sponsor.
Sure, Blair. This week's sponsor is Dead Crow Comedy Room. Dead Crow Comedy in Wilmington, North Carolina has weekly events featuring local and regional comedians. For instance, free comedy bingo every Tuesday hosted by our own Louis Bishop and in-booth sidekick Lou Morgante, as well as nationally touring comics from TV and movies every weekend. Whether you're local or visiting the Wilmington, North Carolina on your beach vacation, be sure to check them out at deadcrowcomedy.com. That's deadcrowcomedy.com.
All right. Well, we got a lot of lead-in music left.
I must have read that really fast.
I think I was fine. Here you go.
By the way, Gary, you were correct. The first one was a miniseries of It.
All right. For those who weren't
Has
listening...
has there been a movie?
No.
No movie. Okay, so this is the first movie.
Then they did another miniseries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, like 15 years ago.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
Sometimes, listeners, we like to have conversations before we get on the air, and then we continue them. We don't start them from the beginning. We continue them midstream once we get on the air. Because questions need to be answered.
Right.
And when does the new It come out? Or is it out?
September 8th.
Okay. Are you looking forward to that?
It sounded like you would.
Because you're a Stephen King book
I like that
fan,
book. I like that book a lot. I enjoyed the miniseries a little bit. It was very cheesy, though. Like, if you watch it now, you kind of laugh because it's made on about $1.79 budget.
Right. But you often don't like
the
going
clown
to the scary
is dressed.
movies.
You tell me if this is the way you would have gone with this. The clown looks like a totally normal clown that you would see at the mall.
Yes.
Like
it did.
Like it did not have any creepy makeup.
Right.
It didn't have teeth.
Yeah.
It was just a normal clown.
Right. Well, I think that's what's so terrifying about
No,
clowns.
I thought it looked a little silly.
Okay.
Well, there was parts where he was more creepier, but I think that would make him even more creepier that he was more normal looking and he's in a sewer. And
well, I saw the preview for the movie, and the clown looks like it would, rip your larynx out.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks super scary.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I thought it looked like a low budget clown. That's what I thought.
You thought
It's
it was
still scary enough when you're 5 years old.
You low rent
Yes.
clown. I'm trying to think of a clown. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Well, we're back, and our guest this week, episode 126.
No.
Yes, 126. Worcester, Mass. Comedian SHAUN CONNOLLY.
All right.
Yeah. I loved him in all the Bond movies.
Yes, exactly. And then Labor Day weekend, we're not going to have a regular episode, but we're going to do the draft, I think the Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, probably. And then we will have the third annual Gary's Critique of Everybody's Fantasy Football Draft and Friend Alienation special coming out that Tuesday or Wednesday. And after Labor Day, yay! And then afterwards, Mary Mack and Tim Harmson are going to give us an NFL preview. So, yeah, woo! So there you go.
Good.
All right, guys. Well,
were you just in Texas?
Was I just in Texas?
Yes.
No, I am going to Texas this week, supposedly.
Maybe.
Well, no, I am, but it's a little. I'm flying from Charlotte straight to Austin, so that doesn't seem to be a problem. No, not even close.
Private jet.
But no. But because I'm sorry, I'm trying to do
Helicopter?
too many things at once. Because a lot of people are flying through, or were supposed to fly through Houston, or connections through Houston or San Antonio or whatever. Some of those people are having more trouble. So it's a little. I'm going to the Out of Bounds Comedy Festival. Let's give them a round of applause.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah. Do you think you could explain to the people when you get to the airport, like, listen,
this is an emergency comedy situation?
I need to go.
Yeah, no, I so far I'm all right. So we'll see what happens. How you doing, Drew?
I'm good.
All right. Gary, what about you? How you doing?
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Yes.
But I'm stuck here in the middle with you.
Yes, that's right. As a matter of fact, you are.
Rock and roll,
I believe,
top 10 rock and roll clown songs.
Drew is to your left and Lewis is to
your
my right.
Top 10 rock and roll clown songs.
Top 10 rock and roll clown songs?
Yes.
Is this something you feel you need to say
very
quickly?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, can I have a little... now, Mr. Wills Maxwell is out on assignment this week, so we're not going to have our typical fact-checking. But since it's been a little bit, I don't think we made any mistakes last week.
No, let me tell you something. I think he 80%'s that fact-check thing.
We think he 80%'s it?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably better than the rest of us. So.
I feel like 80% is still doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's a B minus. All right, so we're gonna get right into our hot topics, and I think I'm gonna lead with calling Joe Perot Game of Thrones here.
The good part of that is a B or B minus is a pretty good grade, but the problem is, he's allergic to bees.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a little swooshy excitement music coming up here to erase that pun. All right, I think we should just get right to the Game of Thrones because I think Mr. Joe Perot has got a tight schedule. He's got his own podcast, also about the Game of Thrones. So we got to do this.
Do you think like our podcast is a warm up for his? Like
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So this is the last week, right?
This is the last week. Well, we'll have him
this
on
week
one more
and then
time,
one more time,
right? Because after we tape this, the last episode will be on. Hello, Joe Perot.
He's at a bar. Did you hear that?
Dragon Master. It's Blair Postman and the team from My Fantasy Wife podcast. How are you?
Oh, hey guys.
Hey,
I'm great. How are you?
We're fantastic. Gary said it sounded like you were at a bar.
No, I'm watching Bar Rescue.
Okay. Well,
that could be your next podcast.
Oh, well, what does John Taffer leave left to say other than just screaming at people for being incompetent?
Do they mostly just have people stealing from them, usually at the bars?
Sometimes you get a thief, sometimes you've got like an alcoholic owner, sometimes you've got somebody who's lazy. Some guys sometimes just a prick or a bad concept for the bar.
Okay. What was the weirdest bar concept they've ever had that you've seen? Like, Atlantis, Watery Kingdom, or anything like that.
All the drinks were watered down.
Yes.
I can't remember what city it was in, but it was a pirate bar.
Oh, Gary loves a pirate bar.
Yeah, we actually had one in our city, and it was really mediocre.
There was one in Silver Spring, Maryland.
It was in, Denver.
Not the same one then.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense.
Maybe it's a chain.
But,
the pirate hotbed of Denver.
Yeah.
They dressed as pirates.
Yeah, no, this place.
Yeah, we had one like just like that.
You got Grog.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
it's probably a chain.
Or
franchise.
We had that exact bar.
It was awful. There was one guy who worked there who had one eye, and so like they came in and they told him like, we're getting rid of this concept, and the guy was like really upset because he's like, I only have one eye, so I can I can like dress as a pirate and wear an eye patch, and I finally feel like I'm welcome somewhere.
Oh
and
God, that's
shattered
sad.
that guy's dreams.
Well, maybe they'll change to like a Greek mythology themed bar, and he could be the Cyclops.
Oh, that's not bad.
All right.
Hey, Joe Perot, did you see the Facebook thing about the pop-up Game of Thrones bar?
The thing in DC?
I can't remember where it was, but it had the throne, and then it had a room with all the faces on it, like the House of Black and White and all this stuff. It was really cool looking.
All right.
Yeah.
I maybe haven't seen all those details, but if it's in DC, next time I'm there.
All right, let us know.
Well, it's pop-up. It might be gone.
That's true.
It might be gone.
That is true.
Because, as we know, we're going to be scoring episode 6 here, but tonight, after we tape this, will be episode 7, the last episode.
So by the time people are listening, it'll already be over.
Right. Well, they can hang on to the exciting conclusion of our fantasy league next time around.
We've got six episodes to look forward to next year, though.
That's true. It's true.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Or the year after.
I think it's the year after.
Yeah, sometime. All right, guys, moving along. We got a lot to do today, how would you like to start us off here, Mr. Perot? I can remind everyone out there, first of all, that in our league, there are automatic points for certain things. Killing a known or drafted character is 1. Exit bonus for dying memorably gets 2 auto points. Sex with a known or drafted character gets 1. Win a war or major battle gets 2, and the rest of the points are what we call awesome points and are awarded at the discretion of our Dragon Master, Mr. Joe Perot.
Indeed.
And
how many do you get for dying again?
You get 2 for dying memorably.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and just as we had some changes here. House Brent dropped Yara Greyjoy and picked up Gendry. House Lewis stayed the same, as did House Gary. House Blair got rid of Davos and got rid of Varys and picked up Thoros. And House Drew dropped Ilaria Sand and picked up Sam Tarley. So, there we go.
Nice. Well, a couple good moves, for sure.
So what do you got for us today?
All right, let's give kind of the episode pretty much focused on one thing, right? That journey north of the wall.
Yes.
And if you're not following me on the Facebook, boy, I thought that was a real dog shit of an episode.
I enjoyed it, but you're, from what I understand, in the camp that it's just all too unbelievable now. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then I like how people are like, well, Joe, it's a show about dragons and zombies. Okay, let's not get caught up on, like, timelines. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. It's still...
Okay. We know how he feels.
Well, it's just a good thing. It's a really good thing that they developed that shortwave radio technology so they were able to move so fast.
It started to become a little ridiculous last season. I think we even made fun of this when I would join you guys, but like that Varys would just hop from one place to another, and we were like, well, this is kind of ridiculous.
Well, maybe it's all a lot closer than we imagine it is.
Seems like a pretty big island.
Yeah, it's,
I don't know.
All right.
I thought it was a great episode that I enjoyed the heck out of. However, it was like one of the first ones that was clear to me, George R.R. Martin, that didn't come out of his book, where they, where they telegraphed the princess and she showed up 7 seconds later with a giant army of dragons.
Right.
I was okay with it until I saw like Tormund and Jorah climb on the back of the dragon's neck.
Something about that just made you snap.
Yeah, they looked like, you remember the picture of LeBron a few years ago when it was like him and Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul and Carmelo, or I can't remember, and they were riding the banana boat together, like on the beach, and everybody made fun of how ridiculous they looked.
Yeah,
that's what came to mind. I was like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It was more like Pete's dragon at that point, not such a vicious warrior to seem too cute.
Well, I mean, they were like climbing on its back whilst it was just raining fire down on.
Right.
frozen zombies.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Let's
You've seen the episode. You want the points rundown here?
Let's get the points rundown here, if you would.
Okay, so we've got a fair amount.
Okay.
I've got first for I think the only automatic points. Thoros died pretty memorably.
Thank you. +2.
So two points for that, and then also he gets an awesome point for his overall participation in the suicide mission.
That's his participation, and then the only one who really committed suicide, or sort of in that suicide mission.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
he was the only Suicide Squad member.
All right, good news for me. And then I can bring Varus back.
Does anyone have the Night's King?
Yes, that's Mr. Louis Bishop.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, 2 points for the Night's King because he fucking killed a dragon. That's a double.
That's a known character.
However you want to slice it, that was pretty amazing.
Not to mention his Olympic javelin potential.
Yeah. Right. So
incredible.
So it's 2 points for the killing of the dragon. One is just an awesome point, and one is because it's a known character.
I think so. Yeah, that's how we'll slice it.
Okay.
So that's 4 points.
That's 2 points.
Oh.
So 4. Oh, jeez. Then I've got everybody that was in the crew is getting a point. Thoros has already gotten his. So I'll start at Tormund a point, Barrack a point, Jorah a point, the Hound a point.
So we got a point for Jorah.
Tormund.
We got a hold on. I'm putting it in order of the teams. Point for the Hound. Mm-hmm. We got a point for Jon Snow.
Yeah, but I'll come back to him.
Okay, and then we.
Of course, you will.
Again, we get a point.
He's my point machine.
A point for
Barrack, Dondarrion, if anyone has him.
Yeah, that's House Brent. So House Brent gets 3 points out of that because he has the Hound.
Did we get Tormund with a point?
Yep, we got Tormund with a point.
How about Gendry?
Gendry, I think, is also Brent. So Brent just picked up 4 points there.
And I went for Gendry 1 extra bonus point, so he gets 2 points for running, 70 miles in a dead sprint through the snow.
Right.
Okay.
As cheesy as it was, he kind of saved the day.
More Olympic. He's
exactly.
He's a marathon runner.
Well, it's like
I
what's
contest that he was more important than the guy who actually ran the original marathon. I think we need to change the name of a 26.2 mile race to a Gendry.
Yes. Well, there you go. Well, we'll make that happen. We can make that.
If you guys could talk
like
to the powers that be.
What's the one in the summer? Like you ski and then you shoot things.
I don't know. I'd like to.
Well, I think they do that in the winter, and that is the biathlon.
Biathlon.
I'd like to give a small sack of corn to the raven that flew from the wall all the way down to where
He's earned it. He's earned it.
It's true. Good call.
He earned it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's I think that's everybody we got here for the expedition team.
Okay. In total, I gave Jon Snow 3 points. 1 for his expedition, 2 for killing a White Walker, and then 3 for going down to the bottom of that frozen pond and then coming back.
Yes. Which, by the way, wasn't very believable.
By the way, that's the second time that's happened in the last couple
episodes.
He's
a strong Olympic swimmer. We've got a whole...
But that similar thing happened to Jamie, so I wonder if that's symbolic of something.
I don't know.
That people with king's blood or noble blood have large lungs?
Maybe. Bad swimmer. I don't know.
I think if this were real and not imaginary, he wasn't coming back up out of that water. I had a hard time buying that.
Okay, well, here we are.
The guy that come back from the dead?
Yeah, but if you're 100 feet below the surface with 90, flesh-eating zombies holding you down, and then they shoot to the top, and all of a sudden you just pop up out of the water. I don't know.
Oh, also hypothermia is not a thing.
No.
That's not a thing.
In Westeros.
No, it's not. He was very chilly afterwards. He had those
and he had like
on.
40 pounds of furs. The second they got wet, he wouldn't be able to reach the surface
Maybe when
anymore.
he was reanimated, he got superpowers or some shit.
Maybe. No.
I don't know.
Should I get a point for that?
I don't know. That seems a little bit far-fetched.
Do I get a point for Jon Snow getting superpowers?
No. But you, retroactively from a season or two ago? No.
Okay.
But you did get 3 points for Jon Snow there.
I'll take him.
So what else we got here?
I got
Dragon
Danny with 2 points.
Yeah.
Just kind of a level of awesome riding in on the dragon with all 3 dragons and
yeah, it's a
2 for her.
3 dragon knight.
And then I already gave the Night's King his points, right?
You gave him 2 points.
Okay, and then the last but not least on the episode, 1 point for Arya Stark.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Needed
for threatening her sister.
Uh-huh.
And just that, so her getting the upper hand, pretty awesome.
So what I have here is 4 points for House Brent, bringing him to 9 overall. We've got 2 points for the Night King, giving Mr. Bishop a total of 7. We've got 3 points for Jon Snow, bringing House Gary to 11. We've got 4 points for me, 2 for Danny, 2 for Thoros, bringing me to 13. And we've got Drew with 2 points, 1 for Tormund and 1 for Arya, bringing him to 13, meaning Drew and I are now tied for first. Followed by Gary.
I've closed. I was 7 back at one point. I'm 2 back now, and I have Jon Snow, who I feel will have a relatively important part in the final episode.
Tonight's going to be important, Blair. If I can make just one correction.
Yes.
I think you said you had 4 points for yourself. My count, I actually believe you got 5 points from the episode.
Oh, that's right, 2
Damn
and
you,
the
Dragon
awesome
Master.
point. That's right.
Yep.
And I am now the dragon.
Well,
I am ahead by 1
you're
point.
leading. But,
I'm leading. It's a dangerous game. Anything can happen.
Let me ask you a question, Blair. That night we had pizza with Joe Perot. Did you pay or did I? I think I paid that night.
So what do you say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. And your problem here is, where the hell is Bran Stark? Where the hell is Bran Stark? Tyrion Lannister had a very, not a lot going on in that episode.
Well, I don't really understand why they went through all the trouble with Bran Stark to tell the whole story of the Three-Eyed Raven, and he goes back in time and blah, 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 and then he just hasn't appeared once this entire season.
Right.
What the fuck?
He's barely been in. He hasn't done. He's just been a real prick.
Yeah, but why develop all that if you weren't then going to do anything with it?
Well, now, I've got does anybody have any trades? I got to pick somebody else up because Thoros is dead.
Yeah, well, you're at the end of the list.
We don't have to.
There.
What?
You're at the end
I
of the
don't
list.
have to, but I might as well. I mean, I am at the end of the list. That's what I'm saying. Is there anyone that since you're Brent's surrogate, I guess, Joe? Is there anybody that he needs to drop or pick up? The Hound, Bronn, Jorah, Beric, and Gendry are his crew at the moment.
Probably needs to make a move. Ooh, I think I'm going to piss somebody off here, but he should probably pick up Sam.
Well, Sam
got picked up last week
by Drew.
I picked him up last week.
I thought I was thinking he got dropped last week.
No, he got picked up last week. He could pick back up Yara Greyjoy.
Yeah, to drop. No, I think he's going to stand firm. He didn't lose anybody.
Okay.
Probably going to regret that.
So, Lewis, you would, actually, you would have been first, Lewis. I'm sorry, my math, got confused.
It's all right.
Does Lewis maybe you can give him a little help. He's got the Mountain, the Night King, Grey Worm, Robert, Glover, and Qyburn. Does Lewis need to do any picking up or putting down?
Yeah, he needs to drop Robert Glover for literally any other character who's ever appeared on the show.
Who would you recommend? Like Sam's girlfriend?
Yeah, that she probably won't do anything that sweet, but
at
least she's in the show, so that's nice.
Yeah.
We're basing this off the show?
Yeah, we're basing it off the show. Lewis has been reading along on the books.
Yes, the graphic novel.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I'll stand firm. It's just, listen, I get
came
two.
With who,
I'm just saying, I get 2
with.
points for a guy killing a dragon, and Drew gets a point for some girl threatening somebody. So it's just stacked.
I see.
It's all stacked up against me. Anyways.
Oh, I see.
I remember 2 seasons ago when you guys were everyone's panties were wet whenever the dragons might show up, and my guy kills a dragon, and I get 2 points. 2 points.
2 points.
Drew should get a half a point.
Yeah. I hear you talking.
Well.
The Dragon Master.
I guess we can see how this is going to wind up.
It's all right.
Gary, you've got Jon Snow, Tyrion, Bran, Peter, Brienne of Tarth.
I feel that this year's Dragon Master does not award points in the same quality that you used to for witty repartee.
Yeah, well, that's possible, yes.
Somebody, when you had Tyrion Lannister, he used to get like 3 points a week.
No, I just made we kind of did it together. He wasn't
like every time there was like a dwarf cock merchant reference.
You would make the case for your team.
Yeah, last year it was a group like.
It was like more of a forum thing.
Yes,
so had a great
I guess I'm saying that I picked my team with last year in mind, and I probably should have thought about it a little differently.
Well,
I agree 100%.
Tyrion could get 100 points this time. You don't know. He's a big character.
He's a very small character.
He also hasn't had any good lines or witty banter. It's mostly just him coming up with plans that get foiled.
Yes.
I went to high school with that guy.
No, you did not.
Witty banter.
No, you did not.
Yes,
Go to anyone that had witty banter.
He had a sister who was a stripper.
Well, and then Drew's got. So, Gary, are you saying you're not picking anybody up or putting anybody down?
No, I like my team.
Okay. And then, Drew, you've got Arya, Jaime Lannister, Tormund, Lyanna Mormont, and Sam Tarly.
Lyanna hadn't done shit for me this year, so I'm going to drop her and pick up Varys.
Okay. Just to hurt me. He did that to hurt me. All right. And then I've got to pick somebody up because Thoros is dead. I don't know. What do you think about Davos there as a pickup, Joe?
Yeah, that's a good move if he's not already picked up. I'd say either him, maybe Melisandre. Does anybody have Grey Worm?
Yeah, Mr. Bishop does.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be good tonight.
Not so bad now, huh?
Davos, Melisandre, and there's...
Watch, the Mountain and Grey Worm are going to kill like 6 people apiece.
I feel like we're not going to see Ilaria or Yara Greyjoy or whatever yet. I've got Euron Greyjoy. We haven't seen him either.
Yeah, but he got you a lot of points early in the season.
Nah, not in the... I picked him... I dropped Davos.
Oh, that's right. I remember in my draft preview, I suggested somebody pick him up, and then you guys decided not to listen.
There was a lot going on. I think I'm gonna go back with Davos. We're just gonna go back with Davos here. All right, guys.
Well, enjoy tonight. The Dragon and the Wolf should be good for whoever has Dany and Jon Snow.
All right. Well, that's me and Gary. So once again, we're at odds. It's very sad. All right. Well,
you said Arya and Jaime? Yeah. Okay.
Tell everybody again the name of your podcast so they can check it out after the last episode.
Look me up at Working Bits on wherever you get your podcasts from, and you'll find the episode Brent and Joe's Game of Thrones and Gas Station Wine. Spelled out an acronym because that's really way too long.
Right. All right, everyone.
I want to keep it simple.
Big round of applause for Joe Burrow. Thank you, Joe.
Hey, wow.
See you guys.
Keeping it simple. Bye.
Have fun.
Bye. All right. Wow. Oh, I'm in the lead at the moment. Just not for nothing. It's just a thing.
I have a thought.
Uh-oh. It's going to be a hostile thought.
Do you think Joe Perot is too good looking for us?
Not for me.
Okay.
No, I don't know about you guys. Not for. Are you saying he's too good looking for Mr. Bishop?
No.
No.
All right. Can we have a little change of topic music, please?
The Bird of Happiness is back.
We got... I don't know what that means, Gary. Oh, the Bird of Happiness on Mr. Bishop's microphone. Yes. I know.
Normally it's perched on his shoulder, but now it's on his mic.
Is it the Bird of Happiness, or is it a bird that's like watching? Like
no, it's a cardinal. It's the bloody hand of the Pope.
Oh, well, okay. All right, guys. There was a little bit of a boxing fight match last night.
I didn't hit you. It was an open-handed slap.
Oh, that's not even funny. That's not funny. I'm officially objecting.
You fell down the stairs.
Domestic violence is not funny. Okay. Ever. But no,
there was nothing domestic about it.
The Mayweather Conor fight. What's the? Did anybody see it?
First of all, who won?
Yeah, Mayweather won.
No, we knew that.
He knocked him out in the 10th round.
Now, did you happen to see it live, Drew?
Yeah, I watched it.
And what did you think?
I mean, McGregor dominated the first few rounds, but then ran out of gas. And Mayweather, I feel like, knew that the whole time and waited and punched him out.
By the time of the actual fight, I heard it reported. I found this hard to believe, but I heard he gained almost 20 pounds in one day.
McGregor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So could that be why he ran out of gas? Because he outweighed his opponent by 20 pounds? Or he put on too much weight?
I just don't think he was used to that many rounds.
Yeah.
Because he looked great till like the 7th, 8th.
Yeah.
Well, and but what I also heard was that people were excited because it wasn't just totally one-sided or
no,
pathetic.
it was actually, as far as, and I am not a fan of boxing. I think once MMA came around, it was just boring to me. Mm-hmm. And as far as boxing goes, it was an interesting and fight that you could watch.
All right. What do you...
Because Mayweather's fights are usually very boring.
Do you think he did well enough that they're gonna have a rematch?
No,
for another $300
Mayweather
million?
admitted he was done again, so I don't think so. I think McGregor's got too many challengers waiting for him in the UFC that he's actually got to address.
And what do you think of that fight, Mr. Bishop?
I did not get a chance to watch it.
Did you lose any money?
No, I actually there was a guy at work that was all about McGregor, so I'm an opportunist. So right at the end when we were leaving, I was like, "Hey, you want to put some money on the fight team?" And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "I'm taking McGregor." I'm like, "That's why I'm talking to you." I wouldn't talk to you any other reason except for because I knew that you were back here big talking.
Yeah.
So
well, there you go. There you go.
I heard there were 7 $1 million bets placed on Mayweather in the last couple of days, and the one of the ESPN guys asked the other one how many of those bets placed on Mayweather could be traced back to being bet by Mayweather.
Did you hear the story about him showing up at 3 p.m. in the afternoon to a sports bookie and with $400,000 in cash, and he wanted to bet. The bet that he wanted to make was that he would beat McGregor before the 9th round.
Oh.
And they wouldn't let him because it was him.
Right.
So then he was like, okay, well, how about if I knock him out? Just a knockout. And like they were trying to figure out like legally if they could
allowed.
take that. Yeah. So he just got fed up and he just left.
Yeah.
But like the day of the fight, he goes to make a bet on himself. But
that's probably what the ESPN guys were referencing. They
probably was. Yeah.
Because Pete Rose somehow managed to bet on all his baseball games without doing it personally.
Right.
You just get your flunky. I hear he had lots of flunkies. I heard that the reason he had to take this fight after retirement, he didn't really want to, but that he couldn't pay his IRS bill. They were talking about some examples of his extravagant spending. I guess they didn't set aside enough tax money after he made all the Pacquiao money.
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying that he gets his hair cut 3 times a week.
Right.
For $1,000 pop.
Yeah.
If you had seen, he doesn't have a lot of hair, so
Right.
that seems
yourself, man.
That seems or go to I don't know what
Great Clips.
Great Clips
Great
once
Clips.
a month
Well, my
for
point-
$12.
Well, I was like, just buy a bunch of great clips. You'll still make better money than.
This dude's going to be broke in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
He and MC Hammer are gonna get an apartment together.
I like that. Is that going to be on VH1?
It's gonna be some sort of reality show.
Right.
But they'll get their money in little increments so they don't spend it all.
Oh. All right.
All right.
So the biggest, most anticipated fight of all time. That's what we got.
Yeah.
But-
Also, last night we don't realize what we saw. We saw that was the funeral march of boxing.
Yeah, that was the death of boxing.
That was it. Like who's a big name?
They're excited about the Alvarez Triple G fight, and that is it.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
There you go. All right. Well, I want to talk about this.
I think Tyson's got a little left.
I like that too.
Well, you
That'll
know what?
really be the death of boxing.
Well, I guess we can debate next week if anyone can think of any other boxing stars, but I certainly don't know any.
No.
But so I want to talk about this Cavs Celtics trade, but I want to wait till we get Sean on the phone.
Let's get him on the
All
phone
right,
then.
let's call Sean Connolly. All right,
See
guys.
a Boston fan?
Well, yes. As are you? Well, at least for basketball, yes.
Hello?
Hello, is this Sean Connolly?
This is Sean Connolly.
Sean Connolly, this is Blair Postman, and you're on the air with My Fantasy Wife podcast. How are you?
Wait, I'm on the air right now?
Well,
Just
we're
don't, like,
recording, and I like to call it on the air because I still live in 1981. Thanks for joining us as our comedian calling guest. I'm going to let you know who is in the studio here with us. We've got my husband and sports stat expert, Mr. Gary Haynes.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Gary.
And our hot topics and social media maven, comedian Drew Harrison.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hi, Drew.
And then rounding things out, we got sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hey.
Hey, Louis.
Now, I'm going to just read a little intro for our listeners, the one or two who may not know who you are. Sean Connolly is a comedian from Worcester, Mass. He regularly performs in the New England area and has been featured at the Boston Comedy Festival, the New Orleans Comedy Arts Festival, and Laugh Your Asheville Off. He produces 4 shows in Worcester and hosts one in Boston. Everyone, big round of applause for Mr. Sean Connolly.
Woo! Yeah.
Yay! Well, Well, thanks for joining us. Are you having a good weekend?
I am. It's great. There's a mural festival happening in Worcester right now.
Okay.
And I'm hanging out at a mural party right now, watching a bunch of artists talk and drink.
What happens at a mural festival? I feel like I'm going to go way down a rabbit hole here, but
no, it won't take long. There's like 30 murals going up in the city of Worcester right now from artists from all over the world.
Okay.
Putting them up, and there's parties at night that happen with them.
Oh, nice.
Like, last night I hosted a thing. There was a graffiti battle.
Oh.
Where 16 artists went head to head against each other, designing a wall that was put up in the middle of a parking garage.
Nice.
And I just yelled at people to get excited about it.
Okay, well, there you go.
It was really fun.
That's pretty much hosting for anything.
Yeah,
anything at all.
Yeah, you guys all know.
Yeah, I have never heard of a mural festival. You see, down here in little old Wilmington, North Carolina, we don't get your fancy big city festivals. It'll be 10
art just
years.
happens where you guys are.
We do have a blueberry festival every spring.
We do have it's not
so
here.
Precious.
Yeah.
It's near here. Yeah, we have a blueberry festival near here.
Right.
Yes, not too far away. Well, as we always do with our comedian guest, Sean, instead of talking about comedy like a normal podcast,
don't forget the opioid pain pill festival that runs year round here.
Every day,
year-round, right?
every day is the opioid pain pill festival.
I host that. I just sit and yell at people about getting pumped about opioids.
Right. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. In fact.
There was an old man racist muscle car festival happening when I was down there last time I was there.
Yeah, that's also big. They overlap, the opioid and the racist angry old man car festival. Exactly. So much to do here in Wilmington. But we ask our comedian guests not to talk about comedy, but what they like or what they're into about sports, what they're fans of. And you gave us a few good options. And you are a fan of the Mets and the Celtics.
Any bad ones?
And there are teams that you love, but you hate the Stars. And because of some news, I would like to start with the Celtics.
Yeah.
And lead it off. And Drew Harrison is a big Celtics fan as well.
Whoa.
Yeah. What do you know about that? And I understand that there's a kink in the trade that the Cavs were supposed to have with the one man for the other man with the Celtics.
They ain't getting nothing else from us.
Kyrie and Isaiah. Is it Isaiah Thomas?
Isaiah Thomas, yep.
Yeah.
His hip injury is becoming an
Yes,
ordeal.
Cleveland found out that they were actually offering former Detroit point guard Isaiah Thomas, and they didn't want him as much.
Right. There are so many issues with that. But
he liked to kiss women too much.
Right.
Right.
In the
God,
office.
that's putting it very, very nicely for him. But what do you guys think about this? Because Isaiah Thomas has got the young Isaiah Thomas has a hip issue that I guess is worse than anyone thought. And now
100%.
Is there like a lemon law thing with the
No.
NBA? Like how?
They can veto the trade if they don't feel like it's fair anymore.
It didn't get finalized.
But generally, everybody has to pass some sort of physical before these things go through,
right.
and I guess the issue came up at his physical.
So
yeah,
do we really think it's that bad, or do we think like the Cavs have had second thoughts?
No, I think it's
it's
pretty
a
bad.
good excuse to have second thoughts.
Right. Well, that's true. But if they don't trade. How this is more what my wheelhouse is about here, Sean, on the podcast. Isn't it going to be awkward?
Oh yeah,
isn't it going to be very awkward for everybody in those locker rooms? Like, what do you do?
I don't know. There was like idiotic Boston fans were like setting Isaiah Thomas's jerseys on fire.
Yeah,
that's going to be weird.
It's going to be.
And now he's going to go play with us? Like, no, it's awful. It's really bad. You got to get rid of him. Anyhow, now I guess.
Well, I think that's an excellent point. Like everybody thinks for Cleveland, it's going to be awkward because Kyrie and LeBron now having to play together if the trade falls apart, or whatever. But it's going to be awkward in Boston when your management gives up on you and trades you to your chief rival. They're really saying they don't think you're going to do anything when they trade you to the team that you're in a main rivalry with for dominance in the league, and then they have to take you back. Oh wait, by the way, we do still want you.
I think Jay Crowder's going to be more
we'll
salty.
play with you now.
Yeah.
What was that, Drew?
I think Jay Crowder's going to be a little more salty than Isaiah Thomas. His mom died the night he got traded.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, was he part of that deal?
Of shock?
No, Gary Haynes. That's not nice. Because we're all about being fucking nice here on the podcast, Sean Connolly. No, but I don't know that person. Was he part of this trade deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's the toughest guy. He's like one of the toughest guys in the league.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah,
He laughed
I
when
would
his
be
mom
surprised if he
died.
tried to punch out Danny Ainge. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, are they gonna? Or do the Cavs and the Celtics go looking for somebody else each, or
Well, the
do you leave it?
Cavs want another player, and the Celtics don't want to give them another player.
Do they take Isaiah Thomas out back and shoot him behind the barn?
Yes.
Is that what they do?
I feel like that's already been done.
Send him to the glue factory.
It's so sad too because he was like doing like the I'm a Star press run. He went to he went to the Patriots spring training camp, and he went to he threw a first pitch out at the Red Sox. Like he was like, "Hey guys, I'm all in. I'm with you guys. I love you.
I want to be here forever.
Later, go to Cleveland.
I'm out.
Bye."
Oh no,
it's gonna get real interesting.
But was it up to him? Did he have a say in it? Really? I mean, or was it just like it was part of the deal?
No, it was not part of a deal. Yep, absolutely.
Well, so it's not really his fault.
No, the Knicks are the only team in the NBA stupid enough to give some major star trade refusal rights. That's why Carmelo is still there.
So, Sean, how would you describe your level of fandom for the Celtics? I mean, I imagine that this is from when you were a little kid.
Yes, forever, and I forever hated my Stars.
Yeah, now, like, who are, and why is that, and who are some, pretend I don't know that much about the Celtics other than Larry Bird. What did you hate about these stars, and who in particular?
So I was born right after or towards the end of Larry's career, so I didn't really get to experience Larry.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with him literally as a legend, like his nickname goes, and so my stars were like D. Brown and Antoine Walker.
Yeah,
I remember that name.
And Paul Pierce, and like everyone in Boston and ESPN all have a hard on for Paul Pierce. I think Paul Pierce sucks. I think he's like a slow, not very good player. Like he hits some shots sometimes when if you're giving the guy the ball to shoot the end of the game shot, he's gonna make it sometimes.
So of all the future Hall of Fame players, he's your least favorite. Is that what you're saying?
I fucking hate him. He's so bad. He just He had like that chip on his shoulder about how he was all these bad teams, and the only reason he won a championship is because he got two actually good players to come and play with him.
Right. So when you go to the Hall of Fame, you're going to bypass his bust,
his display.
Yes. Right. Okay. Right. I'm just making sure.
Middle fingers in the air.
Wow.
Okay.
So who are if you hate the Stars, who are the Celtic players that kept you liking the Celtics? Because that's optional. You don't have to like the Celtics.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I loved laughing at Scalabrine. Brian Scalabrine was always a great person to laugh at, always. I loved Kendrick Perkins. With that, I thought he was the key to winning that championship with Garnett and Allen. Because no one wanted to go in the middle. No, he had that snarl on his face that was like, "I'm not going to change your tire."
Wow.
Wow. He didn't either.
I don't know exactly. That sounds like a metaphor. But he wasn't really changing people's tires, right? Okay, no one asked him to do that, right?
No,
okay, because that seems strange. And yet, you told me that your baseball team is the Mets.
Yeah.
Now, I grew up in northern New Jersey. Like,
I'm
there
so
were
sorry.
some in the 80s. No, actually was a lovely place to grow up, and there's an incredible school system. And
take it back.
That's my favorite response to someone from New Jersey is that they start defending it.
It's a favorite school system. But why the Mets? How did that happen?
My mom's whole family's from Long Island.
Well, that's much better than northern New Jersey.
Oh, it's the worst. And
that's a Long Island. I mean, that's why, like Jerry Seinfeld, the Mets are a Long Island thing. So that makes
they are
largely, not exclusively. So you inherited that, even living through all the storied Red Sox stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just something compelling about the Mets with me. I like the color orange. I think that has a lot to do with it when I was younger.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I loved Daryl Strawberry. I also loved Coke Addiction.
Okay,
so that's another big.
Did you ever see that ESPN 30 for 30 with him and the pitcher
Doc
Gooden?
Yeah,
Doc and Daryl.
It's great.
It's fascinating. Yeah,
fascinating.
It is. So it's mostly the color orange kept you through. That's how if we want to get you to do something, we should send you a note in orange font.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the only reason.
Right.
When I was younger, yeah, but then I don't know. It's just it's the same reason I love going to do open mic comedy. Like I love the tragedy of it.
Just remember, if you want him to do something and you send him something in orange font, he's unavailable during autumn.
Yeah. Why? Because there's a lot of orange.
No. Yeah, changing the leaves.
Oh yeah, he's busy with Right. There's a lot of orange going on.
And if you have him over for breakfast,
orange juice.
Yes.
Yeah,
also, we never play in October, so it's fine.
That's not a conflict.
Right.
Now, Gary,
I was getting to that.
Gary brought up this story, which I had not heard before. Are you familiar with the Sid Finch story of the Mets?
Sid Finch?
Okay, if not, then never mind. But
what do you mean?
Well, you can describe
You're going to tell him if he already knew it, but if he doesn't know it, you're not going to tell him?
I was going to have you talk to him about it. But I guess back in the 80s, George Plimpton wrote a April Fool's joke article for Sports Illustrated about this fake Mets pitcher.
Oh, yes. I didn't know the name, but yes, I know the story. Yeah, I know that story.
And Sid is with 2 Ds like Siddhartha, like Buddha.
Right.
And
he could throw like 130 miles an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And everybody believed it for a little while.
Well, that's what, before the internet, that was easy.
That could work.
Because George Plimpton's never known to turn sports into comedy.
Yeah, well, he's done a few things.
Yes.
What about the Mets? Who is your favorite? Here again, you say you love the team and hate the stars. What stars did you hate on the Mets?
Oh, Mike Piazza, absolutely.
Yeah, God, I hated that guy.
That dude is a waste of space.
Oh, wow! Didn't he just get into the Hall of Fame last year?
Yeah, you're not going to go to his Hall of Fame bust either, I guess.
No.
There's like a special tour in these Hall of Fames for Sean, the Sean Connolly underappreciated Hall of Famers.
That guy was a 63rd round draft pick.
Mike
It was the only one in the 63rd round. The only ones left, and it was only because what's his face? The
Tommy
Italian,
Lasorda.
Yes, Tommy Lasorda was a friend of his dad from some bakery that they used to eat at together or something,
Right.
and so he drafted his son to be nice. He turned into a Hall of Fame catcher.
Well, there you go.
Well, I mean, Tommy Lasorda didn't do that though. I think definitely steroids did that though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, Tommy
Also,
Lasorda.
There was one time that I liked Mike Piazza, and it was when there was those awful rumors that he was gay were coming out. Like every week, the New York Post is just writing about how Mike Piazza's gay for no reason other than there was like a slow news month.
And they just were bored, and it was the New York Post.
And then Bell and Sebastian wrote a song about it.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
No, me neither. I'll have to look it
Let's
up.
see if you can find that, Mr.
Yeah, listen to it. It's a good song.
So if you're gonna hold steroids against Piazza in the 90s, you've got quite a few people to dislike, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he was the only one.
I look back at the 90s baseball and just disdain.
Right.
Well, my favorite player when he started out with the A's after amazing Olympic success was always Mark McGwire.
Right.
And so that steroid thing was
Devastating
to me because I love that guy. But
yeah. He was sad. I was sad. That was very sad, the whole thing.
Jose Canseco, the other Bash brother,
Yeah.
played a season of minor league baseball here in Worcester.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and he put that team into bankruptcy.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
So you hate a lot of stars, but you like Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden. It sounds like.
Yeah, but I mean that was like
Before
they
your
had already
time.
left. They had already left too. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there you go. Well, now because based on
What about early Mets? Like, do you have opinions on like Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan and all those guys? The '69 Mets, like,
I like all those guys. I even like a lot of the '86 guys.
because Nolan Ryan was a badass. The best thing I ever saw in all my years of watching baseball was when he got a fist fight with Robin Ventura of the White Sox.
How great is that?
Yeah, and Ventura
Made
came
a lot
running
of-
out to the mound, and you see him just sit there, and he just clocked. He was like 45 at the time. Too.
Made
he
a
was
lot
an-
of people
he was an old
second
man.
guess.
Yeah, he just
Like I'm not rushing the pitcher. It's okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
not that one.
He's waiting for me.
Yeah.
Well, now, whenever we have a comedian like yourself call into the show, Sean, we make up show Sean. It sounds like Shawshank Redemption, Sean Show Redemption. We come up based on what they've told us that their interests are and predilections are about sports. We come up with a game, and based on the fact that you hated a lot of stars on your teams. We came up with most hated sports figures of all time. U.S. sports figures. No, it's just sports figures. Figures.
Yes.
Of all time who aren't O.J. Simpson. So what we've got,
That's too easy.
Yeah, what we've got here.
I feel like he's gonna break the record here.
I don't think so. There's a few difficult ones.
There's a few difficult ones.
I'm calling it now. That's my bold prediction.
All right. Well, we got 10 questions, and if you win, Sean, you get nothing. There's no upside. If you lose, we make fun of you in future episodes while you're not around to defend yourself. So
I am looking forward to you guys making fun of me in future episodes. I'm awful at trivia.
Excellent.
I know.
Oh, great.
Most times I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Oh,
that's the thing.
Way to let me make my bold statement, and then you tell me this.
Right. Thanks. Now Drew's trying to dial it back. Now here's the thing. I came up with a lot of these on my own off the top of my head. So some of them are pretty well known in pop, culture. So I think you'll be all right.
Hey, I'm just reading ahead.
What's the record? 8 is the record. 8.
8.5.
8.5, I think.
8.5. Okay.
Watch number 2. You use the name of the person in number 2. Whoever reads that.
You're going to read number 2 because I'm going to read number 1. All right, so let's get started. We got 10 questions, and we're looking for a sports figure. So may or may not be the actual athlete. All right, number 1. This cyclist made $30 million a year in endorsements based on his golden aura, denounced and sued journalists who suggested he had cheated, founded a cancer charity that around 2012 was criticized for spending little or nothing on clinical trials or related, and 11 cents on the dollar only went to grants for cancer survivors. He was banned from cycling in 2012. Who was that cyclist?
Sheryl Crow's ex-husband.
Oh, ex-fiance! Can you name his name?
I know, of course, yeah, Lance Armstrong.
Yes, ding, 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 ding. Yes. That's,
all right.
Yeah, people really don't like him.
Mm-mm.
Okay, and that's why he's on this list. All right, Gary.
He was great in that Andy Samberg fake documentary on HBO, though, about cycling. He was really funny in that.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Blair, did you white out that word on the first line for a reason?
No, that was just in a weird font.
All right.
Is Blair writing racist words?
Yeah, no. But far from it.
There's an ongoing feud on this podcast that perhaps I'm too PC. I don't know.
All right.
I don't believe it.
Number 2.
We'll edit that out.
His franchise was dubbed the worst in pro sports by ESPN the magazine in 2009. Other misdeeds includes a housing discrimination lawsuit he settled for $2.7 million with the government, where he was accused of not renting apartments to Hispanics and blacks. He was sued in 2006 by the Justice Department for allegations of housing discrimination in the Koreatown part of Los Angeles. He was sued by longtime Clippers general manager Elgin Baylor for wrongful termination, alleging racial and age discrimination after Baylor lost his job, and in an alleged recording between his then-girlfriend where he berated her for associating with black people and posting a photo on Instagram posing with Lakers legend Magic Johnson. A couple of comments include, "It bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people. Do you have to?" He later adds, "You can sleep with black people, you can bring them in, you can do whatever you want. The little I ask you is not to promote it on that and not to bring them to my games." His girlfriend, in fact, was black and Mexican.
Who was that franchise owner?
Former franchise owner.
Former franchise.
Yeah, former.
Took it away from him.
I know his last name's Sterling.
Yeah, well, ding, 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 ding.
Good enough.
That's good enough for
It'll be
our
Donald
show.
Sterling.
Donald Sterling.
All the good ones are named Donald, evidently.
I know, I was going to say, I thought Donald was too much of a layup.
Right, exactly.
Right.
It felt too good. Yeah, no, that's a Donald Sterling one. That's a Donald Sterling. That was a long intro to that question, but there was a lot going on. I didn't want to
We needed to hear it all. We need to air that out. People need to talk about it still.
People need to talk about it still. All right, number 3, go forward, Drew.
This American figure skater ruined her future in the sport when she was implicated in the attack of fellow skater Nancy Kerrigan at the '94 Olympic trials.
Tanya Harding.
Yes! Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
All right, so far so good. I think he's going to ace it.
So good, but let's see what happens.
You guys are going to get me on one, I know it.
As long as it's just one.
We're going to get you.
No,
all right.
He's not getting number 5.
All right. Well, I'm asking him number 4, so let's see what happens.
I'm worried about 5 and 7.
Yes.
He's
not getting 7 either.
You should be too. Yes, exactly. We like to talk about things in vague terms to give you, to not have you relax during this trying time. All right, number 4. Some think he has reformed, but animal lovers will hate this former NFL star until the end of time.
Whoa! I don't know if you have to know this one.
No.
This NFL star. Animal lovers, especially dog lovers, will hate him
Until the end of time.
Oh, Michael Vick.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding. You would have hated yourself if you didn't get that one.
I know.
Michael Vick, is he still in the league? Or is he out?
He's an analyst now.
Oh.
Fox just caught some shit because they picked him up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
All right.
He's running dogfights again, I heard.
Oh, no. Fox.
No, he did buy a Greyhound track.
Related to dogs. Fox and dogs are related in
a fox like the animal? Fox.
Yes.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apropos of nothing. All right. It sounds like we got to get through this, I guess, because it sounds like you're at a great party. All right. Go ahead, Gary.
Number 5. Not only did his teammates hate him, they once sent a gift basket of congratulations to a player on another team after they thought that player beat their famous teammate for the batting title. This dirty player would go to a place in the dugout where the infielders on the other team could see him and sharpen his spikes. On a golf course, he allegedly wrapped a golf club around a fellow golfer's head and had a habit of drinking and shooting off guns anywhere at anybody, though some say he was misrepresented and gave greatly to charity.
Who was that pro athlete?
I think you were right about that number 5. That is
a tough one.
There's a really funny line about him in Field of Dreams.
It could be a lot of people, though.
Nah. Yeah, I guess.
He's famous for being
a dick.
Yes.
It is not
Ty Cobb?
Yes!
Wow. All right, now he might said it now.
All right.
And when we found out a week or two ago during our fact-checking is President Donald Trump, one of his personal or White House lawyers,
Ty Cobb.
Is Ty Cobb, and they are distant cousins. It is real. They are really related. All right, Drew.
This home run king was undermined by alleged steroid use and maybe was kind of, I'm going to replace your words, kind of a dick.
He's not alleged. It's pretty certain.
He's a dick.
Well, I was having trouble summarizing everything, so I just went with that. Home run king.
Oh, wait. That was the question? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Say it again.
Say it again, Drew.
I thought we were just bantering still about Ty Cobb. My bad.
Oh, well.
This home run king was undermined by alleged steroid use and was kind of a dick.
Were we just talking about him?
No.
This is the
home run king.
Oh, Barry Bonds.
Yes! Ding, 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 ding! Gosh. Wow. It's kind of more fun when they don't do well on the quiz is what I'm learning. No, I'm just saying. Okay, number 7.
By the way, I consider number 7, honestly, to be one of the most reprehensible things that's ever occurred in the world of sports, short of a couple of people who have murdered people.
Right.
This is just really not good.
This is really bad, and this is not too far removed from that. We can get out of this. There's nobody right now that can say we paid Pat Dennehy because he's dead, end quote. This former Baylor University men's team basketball coach spoke those immortal words just 5 days after his newly recruited 21-year-old player was found dead in a grass clearing outside of Waco, Texas. Dennehy was murdered by his teammate in 2003, and this coach was worried authorities would discover he had paid Dennehy's tuition and car down payment in clear violation of NCAA rules. So he portrayed the dead player as a drug dealer to conceal the transactions and save his own skin. Who is that douchebag men's basketball coach?
Yeah, I don't know, but I know this story, but I don't know his name at all.
Okay, do you want to take a guess?
No, I don't.
Okay.
He's
don't
not
know
going to guess
who it
that.
is.
Yeah, Dave Bliss. Dave Bliss.
Ah, yeah. What a dickhead.
What? I mean, I had never heard that story until Gary told me last night. When
Bobby Knight disciple. He coached assistant coach at Indiana for years.
Bobby Knight's not that big a dick. Oh,
no,
well,
I'm just saying. Okay. He's Bobby Knight. He's the Bobby Knight.
He learned a
coaching
couple
tree.
things.
Yeah. He learned some stuff. That is, that's like one of he's lucky he didn't get prosecuted.
The great thing is he's had
accessory to a crime.
He's had 2 new coaching jobs since then. He sat out a year.
Well, I just saw an article from a couple months ago when I was putting this together. He's now teaching at a Christian high school outside Las Vegas.
But he coached Division I basketball 2 more times.
Yeah,
2 different places.
Yeah. Little known fact: do you know why Bobby Knight wore a red sweater?
Because he liked blood.
So you couldn't see the blood. Like
his blood or somebody else's blood or whose blood?
Everybody.
They don't know.
Oh, wow.
They still haven't figured it out.
Wow.
You can't hear it, Sean, but Mr. Bishop is playing some very scary
spooky music.
Background music. All right. Gary. Number 8.
All right. Maybe it was the time he stomped on the chest of a down player, or the battles he had with his teammates, or a perceived sense of entitlement, or all the time he whipped that other school, but just some of the reasons why an ESPN 30 for 30 film was entitled "I Hate Blank," blank being this former college basketball.
He also
star.
went to the shittiest college basketball program in the history of time.
Christian Leitner.
There we go. Is that what gave it away? I feel like it was.
Now, Gary.
No, I think it was that he remembered the 2 championships he
Now,
won back to
in
back.
fairness, when we were trying to come up with it, now, Sean, Gary is a huge Duke fan. Drew is a huge North Carolina fan. And Gary did suggest his name. In fairness, he was trying to
he was a dick. Yeah.
I mean, there were other dicks we could have chosen from.
Oh, we had quite a list.
We had quite a list. It took us a while. We had about 25 or
Tons
so.
of dicks.
Tons of dicks.
A bag of dicks.
A huge
Blair had
bag.
so many dicks.
You had so many dicks to choose from.
Yes, right.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
All right.
Like a porcupine.
Right. Like a pornographic porcupine.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Anywho, Christian Leitner, renowned.
Yeah.
All right, you're doing really well. Not to jinx you, you're 8 for 8. No, you're 7 for 8.
7 for 8.
All right.
Still break the record.
He could. Go ahead, Drew.
We'll see.
All right. Was it the corruption, including multiple accusations of personal bribes or illegal ticket sales? The awarding of, how do you say that? Qatar?
It's a country.
Okay, the 2022 World Cup. The claim in 2011 that there is no racism in the sport he oversaw. The suggestion that women players of that sport wear sexier outfits. For those and other reasons, we did follow international soccer a little more closely.
Step ladder?
Yes! Ding, 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 ding! Wow.
All right, he's got one more. He's got this.
This is,
He's got this.
Sean, if you break the record, we might actually, usually we give winners nothing.
Right.
We might have to send him a signed picture of us.
But if you win it, we're going to give you 1,000 times that.
Right. 1,000 times nothing. The other thing is, because I want to set the mood for you, we have on the background music of what's that Howie Mandel show?
No, this is Who's Going to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, that's what
the millionaire question answering game. So we're really nervous.
Also, we have your family.
We also do have your family.
Yeah.
So, for the record, and this is episode 126, I'll have you know. This is no mean feat.
And we're all wearing red sweaters.
And we're all wearing red sweaters.
We're not afraid to get the blood on us.
The blood of your families. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it took a turn.
How do you have my family?
We are very good.
Just don't miss the question, and you won't have to worry about it.
Okay.
All this goes away.
Yeah.
You get this next one right.
Get it right, and all this goes away. And a signed picture from us. Lucky him. All right. Number 10, for the record. Famous for his temper. This is a hard one. Famous for his temper. John Elway. Famous for his temper, parenthetically, John Elway, when drafted by his team, said he'd rather play baseball for the Yankees than report to him. This owner moved the Colts from Baltimore to Indianapolis in the dead of night, making no public announcement. Baltimore fans awoke, stunned that their team was gone. What is the name of that owner?
Art Modell?
No!
So close.
No!
So close.
God.
Bishop, where's the chainsaw?
Oh, my God. Now we have to kill your family.
Wow.
Oh, come on, guys.
That scene from, what was that drug movie?
Well, explain why he...
Yeah,
was not a
Art
crazy
Modell is the guy that moved Cleveland back to Baltimore to take the place of the Colts when they got stolen in the dead of night.
You're so right.
Yep.
Robert Irsay.
Of course you're right.
Robert Irsay.
Damn it.
Yeah. Oh, well, there it goes. You can't hear it, but yeah, Lewis has gotten
Am I
the
getting
chainsaw going.
chainsawed right now? Oh, no. Stop it.
Oh, my God. Wow. Well, you know what? That was a good run. That was a good run.
Yeah, that was fun. I was hoping you guys would do Marge Schott. She's the worst.
I didn't even think of
God,
her.
we didn't
Yeah,
even
she was
have
pretty
Marge
bad.
Schott. She was. We had a
Marge Schott and her $2 million in-words.
Yeah,
She was quoted for that.
Yeah, no, I know. She's
great.
She's great in the.
Hitler wasn't so bad. He was just misunderstood.
Yeah, right. Exactly. we literally had so many people to choose from.
I totally forgot about her. She's
and
definitely
then it
been
started
on there.
getting top heavy with owners and commissioners and
A lot of bad owners, yeah.
Yeah, like Dan Snyder.
Yeah, just bad white guys.
Yeah, basically, yes. Bad billionaire white guys. So, Sean, do you have anything coming up comedy-wise that you want the world to know about, or any projects? What kind of projects you working on?
He's building a bookcase.
A new bed frame.
Right.
Nice.
I'm gonna be in Kansas City at the Kansas City Comedy Festival.
Oh, fun!
In the middle of September. So
fun.
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed having you on. As of the boys. Oh, now they're playing in the background. Your grandmother very upset because of what's about to happen. All right, yeah, but hey, you go ahead and enjoy that comedy festival,
right?
And we really loved having you on. We will talk to you very soon. Have a great
thanks for having me on.
Have a great time at the Mural Festival.
Thanks.
All right, bye, man.
Bye.
That's really. Please stop. Please stop it. I'm going to have nightmares. Oh my God. Well. Thanks, everybody, and that's going to wrap us up for us this weekend. Remember to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at myfantasywife.com. And thank you, Mr. Bishop, for taking us out with the horrific chainsaw noises of a horrible, horrible chainsaw massacre.